Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Chris, and today I wanted to talk about 10 ounces of silver. So, as you can see, I've laid out a few of the different options. The most basic one's probably going to be these type of rounds. Those are usually where people start. Buy a few of them, kind of see if they like it, get into that kind of thing. What this gives you is good price, easy to get rid of for the most part. And you don't really have to worry about things like this. You don't really have to worry about, oh, I have to take really good care of it. Although, just generally, you do want to take care of your silver. You want to treat it as something that is valuable, which it is. Um, and the great part about rounds is they're easily divisible. So if I don't see why you would do it, but if you needed, let's say, $100, you could, take four of these, take them to the coin shop, get your $100, whatever you need to do. Those things can happen, especially with everything going on. Again, there's so much going on right now that a lot of the things that you never imagined that you would have to do or even contemplate doing, those things are going to happen these days. Hopefully, obviously the entire situation gets better, but those are reminders that, hey, it's real life. Things are going to come up, and as much as we love our stack, you're going to have to part with it at some point. So rounds are great for that. They're divisible, the price is right. You don't really have to worry about which ones you get. Just get something that's either cheap or, there are different rounds that you can that are pretty nice to look at. But with rounds, you don't really have to be too concerned with that. Although, again, as you know, I'm a big believer in love everything that you buy, because it does cost your hard-earned money. Now, something like this is the Sunshine 10 ounce bar. Again, nice looking bars. It's a generic, so there's nothing to this. It's a generic bar, just like these are generic. But it's a pretty good looking generic bar. So if you can find things like that, great. The beauty of this is, again, easy to store. You can stack these up very easily. You can put a few of these away in different places, spread your stack out. And when you do get rid of these, it's easy because you take it to the coin shop. They're not going to hassle you. They're going to give you your cash. You're going to walk out. And it's a decent amount of money. It's easy to carry this around. These might be a little bit more of a problem. Obviously, you would probably keep them in a tube. So I guess it's not that big a deal. But if you're the type that just wants to pick up 5 of these really quickly, take them to the coin shop, get your cash, great. You don't have to carry the tubes around. You don't have to worry about dividing them. Maybe you want to do a little bit of both. So those are the things that you want to keep in mind when you're adding to your stack, especially in the generic fashion. Because again, these are both generics. And at the end of the day, they're probably going to be worth the same amount when you trade them in, which is spot. Even though they may look nice to you, even though you may have great looking rounds or whatever, expect to get spot. Okay, so where does something like this come in? This is also 10 ounces of silver, but this is going to cost you a lot more out of your pocket because it is the Queen's Beast 10 ounce coin. It is a gorgeous looking coin. It's huge, obviously. It's not efficient for stacking in multiples. Uh, there are a lot of great rounds. Perth makes them. Um, there are a lot of different mints that make big rounds like this that are pretty nice looking. Um, but this is more of a collector thing, and so if you're gonna sell this, you're gonna sell to someone who is a collector who wants this particular piece or the set. If you're into collecting the whole set, you're probably not going to sell this to the coin shop, because if you do, you're going to get pretty close to what you would get for this for something that's obviously much higher quality. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. You want to have stuff that you can get rid of like these, so that if you're collecting, which is different than stacking fundamentally, collecting is more of, obviously it first requires a little bit more knowledge on your part to know, okay, what am I going to collect, how much should I be paying for it, all of those things. Whereas stacking, you know what the price of spot is, you know what you're buying whatever it is for. It's pretty straightforward. So if you're going to get into things like this, you do want to have a little bit more knowledge under your belt, but also you want to have a different expectation for what this is going to be, as far as who you're going to sell it to. Are you going to hold on to this till your last breath, and not be able to get rid of it because you love it so much? Those things are going to come up. And those are things that you want to think about on the front end before you spend a lot of money getting things like this and say, hey, I have this awesome piece in my collection, and then the car breaks down. You need to get rid of your Queen's Beast for spot. That'd be terrible. You don't want that. So think of those things as you're adding to your stack. That's exactly why you want diversity. And I've been talking about diversity a lot lately, because I've seen personally, like in my everyday life, people are going through a lot of things that you would never expect. And so it's a good time to reflect and really think, okay, what direction is my stack going? Luckily, on YouTube, there are a bunch of stackers who have 20, 1 ounce gold coins, or this or that. And it's like, wow, that's a lot of money. It is. But I mean, life is very surprising. Things come up, and a medical bill can be $100,000. There goes your entire stack, even if you have a huge stack. So you want to think of those things when you're putting this together, because it is a financial instrument. Again, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not giving you any kind of recommendations or anything, but you do want to consider that, because this is money. This is value. This is something that can provide for you, for your family, can provide for emergencies. It can do so much for you. And you want to put that thought in on the front end when you're buying, because if you spend money when you have it, and then something comes up when you don't, it's going to throw away everything that you spend time building. So just keep that in mind. Lastly, check that out. In-N-Out. So in a previous life, I did work for In-N-Out. I have a lot of their memorabilia. These actually used to be pretty rare. These would be given out by like higher level managers in the company, or the owner, or those type of people would have these. They would give these out to, like, if you were a good worker or a good customer, or if they were at events and things like that. Now it's more of like a kind of an everyday novelty, not so rare. But these kind of things were actually pretty sought after back in the day from In-N-Out. So I thought that was pretty cool. I actually came across it looking through something else, and I was like, oh, In-N-Out. So this one says October 43. Obviously, that's the founding, not when this was made. And no, this is not silver, but I just thought it was something cool to see. I wish they made rounds like this. Who wouldn't want In-N-Out silver rounds? You'd buy a couple tubes of those. So anyway, just my 2 cents on 10-ounce silver bars, coins, rounds, and where your head should be at when you're buying them. I have a few unboxings coming up. Unfortunately, JM Bullion took to the last day to receive my check, but they did. So my main unboxing's coming, and then I ordered a few items from Amex that I'll be unboxing later this week. But I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Take care.